talking about traveling with kids. Yeah. So school holidays are actually coming to an end, and is it either you've managed to get your getaway or vacation going, or you're actually planning for a new year. Parents with young kids especially are eager to go somewhere near, and sometimes it ended up to be nowhere but home. One tip that I have is there is always a first time to everything, so break free your comfort zone and really embrace it.
Alright, but what if you are traveling with a child who may have special needs?
So you need to stop and plan properly. What's the most important thing is not to outcast yourself. So planning is the most tedious part, but on the other hand, planning will save your panicking moments. Number one, increase your safety precautions. Safety for your child, safety for the child, and safety for you. Okay? Know the surroundings of your hotel, not by heart, but a little knowledge is better than no knowledge at all. Example like hospital. So here's the tips that I gathered with my own experience of traveling with a baby and a toddler. 3 things that you need to be mindful of is time, play, and sleep. Okay? So time-wise, when you want to book for your flight, you need to know what time is your flight. Okay? The timing of your flight, the flight hours, how long is your flight going to be, and you will need to roughly know what kind of situation that you will be going through in that flight with your kids.
But what's the difference between if I travel with or without kids? Like if I travel without kids, I still need to be mindful of time, but how is it different?
Okay, the difference is that you need to be specific in a way that you do not interrupt your child's schedule. Okay, so the schedule will be like when the timing of their milk time, feeding time, timing of their meal, lunch, breakfast, dinner, because they are human too, they need to eat, you know. Yes, and even sleeping time. Is it their nap time or is it their play time? You know, you need to know this kind of hours, this detail, to ensure that you have a smooth journey. But I'm not saying that you may not have a smooth journey, but it depends on your child, depends on the day, depends on whether they are willing to communicate well with you on that day during the flight. You know, the second one is actually about play. Okay, they have their own playtime and they have their own maybe favorite coloring book. Yeah, so these kind of things you actually need to take consideration into to pack for the flight. Yeah, maybe you can have like one bag full of their toys, full of their coloring books, if you do not want any iPad or iPhone to be inside.
So Nazura, based on your own experience with your own kids, what are some of the toys that you pack in your hand carry to keep your kids entertained?
I pack a few things in one bag that is full of her toys. So one is a toy that she usually look for at home. The second one is a coloring book. I actually bought about 3 just in case, because these 3 coloring books will actually entertain them throughout the journey, even in the flight, even during makan, or you know, during her boring time when we want to shop. Yeah, I did not actually show her before the flight. So during the flight, when I take it out, she got very excited, like, oh, what's this? What's something new? You know. So before the flight, I try not to show anything to her. Yeah. So the third one, I would say is very important, is sleep. Okay, you do not disturb their sleep. As much as you do not want them to disturb your sleep, you do not disturb their sleep.
And their sleep pattern.
Yeah, and the sleep pattern. Although some countries may have a different timing zones, but you need to make sure that you accommodate to them, not them accommodating to you. Okay? And when it's their nap time, means it's their nap time. Let them rest and your holiday will be smooth, you know. it's not going to be a cranky day. It's not going to be a day that you need to break through. So sleeping time even during the flight is the best. But of course, kids being kids, they may be very excited. They may be very enthusiastic when it comes to a new environment. Yeah. So they will want to venture more in the flight where there is actually nothing much to venture lah, you know. But this is something that you can be mindful of when you want to travel with your kids.
Okay, so my understanding is that our boarding time, our flight time has to accommodate to actually their schedule, not the other way around.
If you can, because not every day like you have that kind of flight or whatsoever. But if let's say you have an opportunity to have this flight time during their nap time, maybe you can. So although all this planning that I've shared with you, it may not be suitable during that day or during that time, but what you need to do is stay calm. Yeah, you need to stay calm and accommodate to them. Okay, they are trying to adapt to the changes, so you try to adapt to them.
Right.
Yeah, and I guess that's it for today, for this session about traveling with kids, and hopefully I will be sharing with you again on traveling while you are pregnant.
Okay, do share the video.